It's Moscow, Mickey, Miko, Locusi, Johnny, Gators, and Walter, Lady, Hannibal, Bliss, and this party, Red Nana, Red Tsunami, Red Creeks, and a Red Ferrari, Red Clay, will hide your bodies, Medical, and ask a body, ya, bless. They call me Mr. Manifest. You fellas screaming out the chest. I got this technique best. I found my destination through a red light. Rock your soul through the daylight. Hydro going crazy, right? Nazi going crazy, right? Up, man, fight. I'm purple haze through the night. I'm thinking chili out of spite. I'm thinking Suki for the slice. I'm speaking Alabama cream. I'm South going through the streets. I rock that rain, it's all the day. Kusi King is out of ranges. Kusa. Good evening, my man.
Yes, sir.
Welcome back to another edition of the Indigenous series, Remember Who You Are. Before we get started tonight, I wanted to take a moment and thank the viewers, a few thousand over the past week, and their comments have been on fire, to say the least. What we are seeing is that many of you are not just watching, but you're researching. You're going to the graveyards, you're tracing family trees back to the 1800s. You're asking questions you've never asked before. You're asking family members, you're clarifying, you're re-asking, and you're demanding receipts. That's what we found in the comments. And that's what we're here to do tonight. One of our viewers, Derek, he dropped a comment that it really stopped me in my tracks. He said, what would be a reason for a hidden history? And he answered his own question, a $174 trillion of hidden wealth and counting. That's a damn good reason. $174 trillion. I'm a journalist. I've been doing this for 30 years, but I don't throw numbers around without backing them up. And I'll be honest, I don't know the exact number, if it's 174 trillion, but it damn sure sounds good to me. What we do know is that when you systematically, Walter Plecker, Racial Integrity Act, and countless other acts, the Dawes Commission, when you systematically hide someone's identity, when you erase their history, when you deny their connection to the land that they have been on for thousands of years, and then you reclassify them, you rename them, and cut them off from their inheritance. In Virginia alone, I estimate $5 billion in land was stolen from tens of thousands of melanated people. You're not just stealing their story, you're stealing their wealth. That's what I want to talk about tonight, Mr. Hannibal. How are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing all right, Donnie. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good.
Yes, sir. The same thing down in Alabama. I was just researching today about those who went on the Trail of Tears, and it was like 4,000 family members that remained in Alabama, and that got land allotments, and these land allotments were taken or stolen by the admins or quote unquote white settlers, slave masters, or whatever. So I think the number might be a little bit higher. You're talking about a whole state. Georgia, Alabama, all that was just taken away. I agree with Big My Baby, billions in Tennessee, because that was part of the situation too. So how you doing tonight, sir?
Man, I'm grateful. I was talking with Horace. He'll chime in soon.
Okay.
I had reached out to a young lady to see if we could. She's a therapist, and see if we could have her come on and talk a bit about navigating the holidays from a mental health perspective. A lot of people get stressed out over the holidays. Some people get sad, downright depressed, particularly if it's their first holiday without that particular loved one, a mom, a dad, a husband, a wife, a child, ever elementary school classmate who lost his wife last year. He's 60, relatively young man. And then let me just say this: if you're alive, that's young. There's a older brother, Dr. Warren Heyman. Man, we've interviewed him. We gave him an award. 93 years young, and moving about like he's 65, 60. He move around better than people my age.
I know.
93.
That's a blessing there. That's a blessing.
And his story wasn't, a lot of times we look at people in successful positions or what we presume to be successful, and we just take it for granted that they didn't have any rough patches in their life. Right. And gave him the Black Wall Street Award recently. He talked about how there are two historically black colleges in Baltimore, Morgan State University and Coppin State University. Okay. And he talked about how he went to Morgan at first and flunked out. How many people do you hear who have reached that point in life? He's 93. What? Who can openly say, hey, I flunked out? And then he's talked about when he then went over to Coppin and how he was able to find his niche. He became a Coppin basketball Hall of Famer. I've known him for 40 years. Did not know that about him.
Wow. So he's just talking about perseverance, not quitting, not giving up. You get what I mean? And that's the theme about this holiday. I've seen a lot of people, what I do. A lot of people come in and out, and it's a lot of gloom right now. And it's funny that it's at this time, you know what I mean? The last month of the year, a lot of people is discouraged. They want to buy their children a lot of things, or only these things to be torn up. So we need to pray for these folks, and like you said, have some discussions, so maybe it can help some of our viewers that's watching.
Common sense stuff.
Yes.
I was talking to one person. They were talking about they got 8 phone calls for money. Gas and electric, your mortgage, your rent, food,
with necessities.
What you need. Check this out. They were giving away toys in my community yesterday. And one entity, I'm not going to call nobody out, they did their toy giveaway at 8 o'clock in the morning. How many people do you think came?
Not too many.
Not too many.
Oh, that's sad there.
It's 8 o'clock.
It's 8 o'clock.
And you're talking about giving toys to people who need help, right?
Right.
So are we really understanding how they move? 8 o'clock Saturday morning.
Well, did the word get out? I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt because.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to pick on them because they had their own situation and they at least tried. They did offer, and at least one family I saw there came there. But but I got a phone call maybe an hour later and ended up in another part of the community, and their toy drive was scheduled for 12. Hey there, Hars.
Peace, my brothers.
Their toy drive was
brothers.
scheduled for 12 noon, and people had started lining up at 10 a.m. And so when I got there about 11:30, people were lined up. So you gotta understand the community that you're serving.
Yeah.
You gotta understand how people think, how people move. And just a public service announcement. If you are serving the underserved, the underprivileged, people don't, it's not time for a photo op.
Right. You know,
if you're giving away stuff, give away stuff.
Right. You really don't even need a camera there, right? You don't really need everybody.
You can take video. You can take pictures of their backs,
right,
but not their faces.
Right. I moved down to Birmingham for a minute, and they had a good citywide program down there during Christmas time, Donnie, where they they only had a couple high schools down there, like Woodlawn High School, Hayes, and then they closed Hayes, and I think it's probably one more. But they'll gather every kid in the city down to go to this one hall or one auditorium, and they give them all Christmas toys. Air Force Ones, Nintendo games, bikes. I'm talking about, this is down in the South, how they do their thing. At first when I moved down the South, I thought you see how racist it was, and it still is. I ain't saying that it's no racism, but I think they kind of learned their little lesson in Birmingham about this racism thing. So they really take care of the community and each other down there, from what I've seen as an outsider moving down there.
And I mention that because in addition to the stress that Christmas causes, there's also the money. Now, we are what we call, and I've known this long before this doctoral program, we are the Black consumers known as the melanated consumer is known as a super user. That means we shop when nobody else shopping. I would dare to say that melanated people spend more on St. Patrick's Day than anybody else. And that's not even their holiday. Tell me I'm wrong. Please tell me I'm wrong. We quick for a holiday, man. And we spend money on them holidays. That's what they all about, capital.
Right.
Help me out, Planet.
No, it's true. Absolutely. 100%.
You got on glasses, Planet?
No. What you talking about?
Yes,
Hey, Horace. Hey, now.
Peace, brother. How you doing there? How you doing?
Good. Hey, Hannibal.
Hey, how you doing, Planet?
Okay.
Hey, can I chime in on something right quick? On what you said, Donnie? Well,
Yes,
the thing about it is that it's in our nature to be flashy, so to speak, or to have the finer things that we create out of the elements. Because if you look at all of the statues of our ancestors all across the world, man, they had on chains, earrings, feathers, bracelets. You know what I mean? I mean, they were done up real big. So we've always been the people that partook in having, nice and flashy things, to accessorize ourselves. But when they took our financial means away from us through some of these destructions that took place across the land, and then they took it from us, but then they flashed it in our faces, on the television screen. So now it's every chance that we get, we try to, get back into, our natural habitat of, looking good, et cetera, but it's all the result of them taking it from us and then flashing it in our faces and making us desire it even more. So now we can't, stop that cycle.
I got to push back, Horace.
Yeah.
The elders said, I know y'all heard it. A fool
and his money will soon part.
In the words of Planet, let's meditate on that for a minute.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
fool
well-
and his money will soon depart.
Well, Kanye West said they made us hate ourselves and love their wealth.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so their money, you know, doesn't even amass to, you know, the amount of wealth that we really hold on a natural level. But I understand what you're saying, you know, so far as that's concerned. Yeah, but we by nature, man, that's just what we do. Gold, silver, platinum, earrings, feathers. That's us as a people.
Yeah. But there's nothing wrong with looking good, though. You know, going places and being clean. You know, that builds up the self-esteem. You know, when you kind of dirty and like how they had us in a situation that lowered the self-esteem, then you want this high output. So, you know, say you got this high output from us, but we had low self-esteem. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's why we strive. You know, especially you come to Detroit. You know, that's one thing that we do here is dress. You know, and it can be a $10 pair of pants and $100 pair of shoes, but you're gonna look. And I think I think it's okay for our people to feel good about themselves, you know, but not to your detriment, not to your own detriment.
Pay that gas and electric bill and stop playing.
Right.
Else you got to go get in the energy assistance line, and that's early in the morning, and it's a long line. Or we buying, you know, man, I could not imagine asking my mother for a $200 belt. First, I was hustling anyway, newspapers or whatever, so at least I had a way to save up to get some stuff. But a $200 belt, and those things have been normalized. Things you saw in the first grade are different than what we see in the first grade today. Totally. We have normalized, for instance, underachievement. We have lowered the bar. 60 is passing. You don't even have to know how to sign your name in the 21st century. But we look good and we can dance. Dumb as a doorknob, but we look good. I'm not with pretty dumb, Hannibal.
Yeah, just priorities is in the wrong place. But I think that learning thyself and learning your history and learning the accomplishments of your ancestors should get you online to say, hey, what the heck am I doing in this bigger scheme of things? Because it's our turn now. And it's like a lot of us is dropping the ball, you know. So let's pick up the ball the best way we can. It's you know, it's no slight on anybody, but you know, it's all good, you know.
If we really want to save our next generation, we will get 16 to 18-year-olds jobs. We would make jobs readily available. When a young man is 14, 15, he needs a job. But play sports all you want. He needs a job to earn some money to buy the things he is so, you know, the street culture, the peer pressure is very, 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 very strong. It's like even down to what you say, the words you use, it is, and the cancel culture amongst it is just even, you know, deadlier. So we got suicide in our young people. You know, they see that. They see a lot of toxic stuff. Violence at home, in the streets, on the way to school, in school. Help me out, Planet. You see it?
It's definitely there. You know, the culture of the bling and all of this stuff has created much desire. And you know, the purchasing power, because nobody got no real money anyway. So it's a movement to get a symbol that of success, you know, just a symbol. All right.
Mm,
You know, obviously the real deal is the land,
mm-hmm.
right? But how many of us have, purchased land? In other words, they got us all hemmed up in these cities, and that's the way of the city. That's the way of the city. So it's a deep question. It's a deep problem. You know.
We got a comment from the comments from Michelle Walker 12C. She say, "Please, everyone, pray for my family. I just lost my uncle today."
Oh,
So,
Mm.
Michelle,
okay.
we send
Well,
prayers from our end. Prayers to you and
My
your family and your
condolences.
loved ones.
absolutely.
Yeah, my condolences.
It's a
Yes.
tough time of year to lose somebody, man.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
it
know,
Will do.
what piggybacking off of what Planet was saying, like I said previously, in the Buddhist teachings, it says that desire is the root of all suffering. You
is.
know, and it's the emblem of success as opposed to real success. And according to their reports, it'll take uh, our people in this country, approximately 230 years to close the wealth gap between us and white America, and for all of the rest of the people who are in the actual race.
That's a
See,
thought. I think it can be done overnight, though.
no, it can, but it's impossible to see who the enemy is when you integrated in with the enemy.
Mm. Oh, that's
So
good.
anytime you integrate it in with the enemy, they're gonna always have an advantage, to put their mechanisms in place to make sure, especially man with the people that we're dealing with here on this land of ours, that they walk around as if they're better than us because they have some material things which were put in place at the edge of a gun, but we have something that they'll never be able to achieve with any amount of dollars.
What's that, Horace?
Shit, this carbon, this soul that
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So we got something that you can't even purchase with money. So that's how come they have to have a system in place in order to place themselves up on the pedestal, because Mother Nature says that they're at the bottom of the totem pole, but the system says that they're at the top.
Yes,
And
sir.
meanwhile, our children are almost like pawns on the chessboard
Yeah.
Right.
because we can't fully protect them.
Yeah.
We can pour into them in the house, but you all know for yourselves the streets have a pull of its own,
A stronger pull,
and we've seen it in what, 3 generations, just so 4 or 5 generations just among us.
Right.
Well, see, Donnie, let me say something right quick. See, that's how come it was so important to integrate us and to divide us, because the culture always dictates, has a stronger influence than what's said in the household. So
Mm.
when the culture is twisted, then the decision making is going to be twisted on the part of the peers and those who they're influencing. So we can say everything: go to school, go to college, get your bank. But if the culture is not dictating that, then our words only falling on deaf ears. So that's how come we have to segregate. We have to reclaim and reconstruct our culture. That's why I say it takes a village to raise a child. That village is the culture. So you don't have to, you don't need a book, or you don't need something, to tell the person how to do right from wrong. It comes innately, naturally. But then the culture tells us, oh, this is, you go this way instead of that way. So that's what the problem is. The culture is dictating, the decision making of the youth right now, because we're integrated in with our enemy.
And then you add to that a 70% single mother household demographic.
Yeah.
70% of our households are single mother. Planet, when you were a kid, when I was a kid, that was the tail end where Black people were more married than any other community in America. Now the reverse has happened. And since then, you had the Vietnam War. A result of that was many of our brothers came home with dope habits. Then you had the pouring, with the mafia of heroin and cocaine up and down our cities. 20 years after that come the crack epidemic.
Worst thing.
Then the perk Molly generation. Now it's fentanyl, carfentanil, nitazene, stuff strong enough to knock out a horse, knock out an elephant. So you throw in the whole drug culture. Young boy want to make some money, so he hustle. He want to get the young girl, so he hustle just to buy something to show somebody. To only have somebody try to shoot him in the head.
Yeah.
They popped the cat around the corner from me, 10 to the dome. I heard the shots. He had one corner, but he wanted 2 and 3 corners. He got greedy.
It's just
So
a matter
he met.
just a matter of time, Donnie, in that life, right? You don't even live.
So we got to get to our young men right now. While we got people going home and getting the families together, we need to have those intervention conversations, as opposed to having that conversation in 2-3 months at the funeral. I wish I would have said something. I should have done something. I could have done something. Earth, Wind, and Fire had a song years ago. We can touch the world if we meet them at their need. And in the song, it had a line that said, we got to do all we can to get that boy on back, off the corner. That might mean us going to the corner. I don't know if y'all ever had to go to the corner to get your child.
No.
But we got to go to the corner. And the men got to go. These 70%, I'm not at all blaming these women. It take 2 to make it. It take 2 to raise it. I'm not blaming nobody. Whatever happened, we got to raise them kids. I defer to you, Horace.
Yeah, well, see, when you go to the corner, then you have to have somewhere to take this brother away from that corner, and you have to have something to show him something that's better than that corner, other than a bunch of words.
Right.
Yeah, but he also got to have an attitude of, I'm willing to accept the help. Because you can't make nobody, you can't empower, I can't empower nobody. A person has to want to be empowered. You ain't driving that tractor trailer because somebody else wants you to do it.
That's deep. We had a comment from Big Mom Baby and from our viewers, and she said she this specifically for Planet Well. She was saying that she's doing all she can to raise 4 young men in Chicago. So it is an issue of like the single mothers raising kids, doing everything they can, and a lot of us is not present. We on this on this thing of finding out who we are. So we trying to come up with ways to help alleviate some of the struggles and pains that our people is having. So what do you feel about that, Planet Wells, with the quiet, the stillness that you bring, that you've been talking about?
Well, it's a fundamental, deep core issue, right? So consciousness itself is under attack, right? So utilizing stillness, when you can, helps to at least give you a moment to reconnect with source, because you can easily forget about source when you're stuck in a deep survival mentality. And the current U.S. culture is all about proliferating the thinking of survival, right? You know, you could say lower chakra, you could say whatever, but that's the focus, right? So it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work for parents, single and otherwise, you know, because they're inundated with this kind of a theme, and also you have such a rapid rate of information and misinformation and this kind of thing flowing. So we're in a very accelerated. We're in a very accelerated place, and by checking in with silence, I find it helps.
So you guys know tonight's show was about that they stole $174 trillion from us in land and all that type of stuff. What you guys think about that, of course?
I think that's a small number.
Yeah. Me too. I said that in the beginning too. You know, wonder if we got a comment from
But
Night.
it's a start though.
Yeah, it's a lot. You know, we got a comment from at Night Crave. He said our buildings are alone are worth more than 174 trillion. They still can't build them now. You're correct about that.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's a lot of a lot of our indigenous properties and a lot of our intellectual properties is being stolen as of today. You know, we talk about the culture and how we feed into the culture. We still give them our intellectual property, and then that's like what we talk about, like gatekeepers. You got certain musicians, certain entertainers, certain ball players that do these things and get our youth to aspire to be like them. And I think that's where a disconnect might be happening as well, because we don't idolize, or our children don't idolize those smart ones like we used to when we was younger. We wanted to be like those who went to school, like Dr. King and Mega Evers and people like those cats. But it's a different day now. It's my son's telling me, he thought, well, you don't have to go to college nowadays. You know what I'm saying? You can get you a decent job, or you might not even have to get a job. You can be your own boss and luck up and live a good life. So I think that a lot of our youth is looking at life like that I don't have to do these things no more.
Mm.
Well, I mean, yeah. Look at it. The people who are 230 years ahead of us financially, they didn't have to do that. Only thing that they had to do is live off the our sweat, blood, and tears. And piggybacking off what you were saying, well, us four on the panel tonight alone, our birth certificates and the contracts and QSIPs that came along with them is probably worth $174 trillion by themselves. And then the last thing is that, he who controls images controls minds, and he who controls minds rule the world. They're steadily pumping this imagery in the head, like the video I think I sent y'all, that you can't turn on the TV and have any positive black representation in the black community. There is no more Cosby shows or different worlds. You got Power, you got all these P Valley, you got all these downgraded the defamation of character sitcoms and movies, but there is no more movies or TV shows just showing us in a positive light at all on any channel.
Hell, they tried to locked up Bill Cosby, didn't they?
Yeah. For some shit that happened, 20-some years ago, when that was the culture back then, and they just did that to destroy him because of what he was trying to do and purchasing that network. Yeah.
But he opened the door, and now Byron Allen actually did buy a network.
Yeah. Shout out to Byron Allen as well.
Right. Well, he bought the Weather Channel, right?
The Weather Channel,
Plus he sued he sued and got all those hundreds of millions of dollars. I forgot exactly
Was it
what it was for.
McDonald's?
That's a good question. I can't remember verbatim what it was.
All right, well, I got a couple of clips I want to share with you, gentlemen. Harsh, I'm not sure I got the right one, but I will play what I have of yours. So here's one.
That is owed to the Black Americans is held in public trust. Until they go and claim their land patents, they'll continue to pay taxes and get evicted and work for us. The fake ones that came down after the wars will continue to be able to claim their heritage.
We passed the bills. When I was in office, we incarcerated a lot of Black people after pumping drugs into their communities. See, what we do is induce bonds off the incarceration and sell the securities on the secondary market. They never balance the books, so we lock them up and keep the money. Well, we'll never handle the Mexican drug cartels because they work for us. See, we cut a deal with them to keep the drugs in the Black communities just so they can sell the drugs. We monitor and lock them up. This is why they call the drug game the trap. It's a trap for them to go to prison. We took their land, claimed it abandoned, and taxed them. But most importantly, we took their opportunity to compete. We tricked their leaders in the 60s to thinking desegregation was a good thing. It wasn't for them, but for us. We inherited much more. Political campaigns are all a hoax. It's called a two-party system. But our core values are aligned with keeping the people from inheriting what's really theirs. When they claim anything besides who they truly are,
The land.
And this is what I have from you, Harsh.
We're standing here in front of an ancient pyramid, moments before tonight's performance. There's no doubt the Olmec were black, and you are an Olmec. I know you have magical powers.
Yes, my people were here long before 1492.
So tonight is about the indigenous,
Yes.
Olmec.
My bloodline, the Choctaw, the Cherokee.
Playing today at an ancient site many consider sacred here in Seattle, Washington. What does this place mean to you?
This land remembers sound. I'm just tuning into it.
Is Jimi Hendrix the immortal one?
We are the immortal ones. The Moors. If it don't reach you, it wasn't meant to. If it does, then you already know. Talking, but only a few listeners. The music ain't just sound. It's the words the world don't know how to say yet. If it don't reach you, it wasn't meant to. If it does, then you already know.
Is Jimi Hendrix the immortal one?
Right on. We are the immortal ones, the Moors. That's what Moor means. Immortal ones.
Jimi Hendrix playing today at an ancient site many consider sacred here in Seattle, Washington. As someone whose descendants are said to...
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
That's that furthermore validates what I was saying about us being immortal and infinite beings. But that first video is extremely powerful, but the thing about it is it just applies to us, it applies to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, white people, the so-called white people, they so silly. You know, they feed into, you know, this old racial narrative when they getting pimped just like we getting pimped. They just get a little light smack on the butt cheek, but we get a swift kick in the ass.
Tell them how you really feel. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, they feed into the BS, man. But they in the same boat we in.
Tell me
But
what
they
you think
just
of this
don't
one.
know it.
That hijacked our identity. Now check this one out. This one is from Ireland. That's his birthplace. And what does it say there? You see this? Here's another one. This was his name, from Siberia. And look, there it is. It says on the census, he's Siberian. His father's birthplace, Siberia. Mother's birthplace, Siberia. Birthplace, Siberia. But you're an Indian. So they literally came to the U.S. and just took our identity. Syria. Japan. Oh. Singapore. Race. So how could you be born in all these different countries, and then when you come to the United States of America, you are just automatically a native of America? That's the hijack, fam. That's the hijack. This is how they became us. And those people are clearly not copper-colored people. Copper, this is copper. This is me next to a copper penny. Okay, I can clearly see. Those people that were named in those documents, and what does that mean? They ain't us. They impersonated us. Although the majority of us were copper-colored, there were brown-skinned, red-skinned, and dark-skinned natives of America. We come in all shades.
When the ships came into Galveston, they weren't just bringing people, they were swapping identities. Late 1800s to early 1900s became a major immigrant gateway. Thousands of Europeans entered here, not Ellis Island, but according to port records, many of them walked out carrying indigenous surnames that didn't belong to them. Receipt number 1. Immigration logs from Galveston show entire families arriving with no prior connection to the Americas, yet within a generation, their descendants appear in censuses as Indian under the same tribal surnames once held by melanated indigenous families. Receipt number 2. Land patent transfers in Texas reveal parcels once tied to indigenous land allotments being signed over to new Indian allottees, often matching those same immigrant names. Receipt number 3. Court disputes from the early 1900s document indigenous families challenging these name swaps, claiming their legal identity and land rights were stolen through fraudulent re-registration. This wasn't random paperwork confusion. It was a coordinated way to replace the people, keeping the land under native ownership on paper. By the time the story reached the history books, the faces had changed, but the names stayed. So today, when you see certain tribes, you're not looking at the descendants of the original people. You're looking at the results of an identity swap.
So we want to play, we got a new theme song since Mafia done went missing.
No.
Our other resident musician, and well, I just mean we haven't talked to him.
You know what?
It's Muskoku, Mickey, Miko, Lokusi, Johnny, Gators, and Mussolini, Hannibal, Blizzard, this party, Red Man, Red Tsunami, Red Creeks, and the Red Ferrari, Red Clay, will range your bodies, Medical, and ask somebody, yeah, bless. They call me Mr. Manifest. You fellas screaming out the chat. I got this technique better. I found my destination through a red light. Rock your soul through the daylight. Hot your going crazy, right? Nazi going crazy, right up, man, fight. I'm purple haze through the night. I'm thinking chili out of spite. I'm making suki for the slice. I'm speaking Alabama cream. I'm Southland going through the streets. I got raisins on the table. Kusi King is outrageous. Kusa. I'm talking, they call me Nico Tussanui. Punk a flame like a dude. In the field, such a core. And I got something funny.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that. That's
Excellent.
fire.
Yeah. Now, going back to the the uh, the Hendrix video, that what happens is people get passionate about an idea, right? And they utilize AI to express that idea, right? And then people can, send you to task because it's AI. It's not real, even though the feeling that the person wanted to promote was very true. And in the case of Hendrix, that he recognized his native lineage. He commented on that, and then they took that information and made the video. So having come from that era, if that video actually happened, I would have known about it like 20 years ago. So we just have to be careful with that because people will try to rebuke and say, "Oh man, that wasn't Hendrix," and they would be right. But that's the world we live in. So in other words, you resonate with what they're saying, but
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't necessarily historically factually true.
Good point. Good point. Good point.
But Shakur's video is great. It's
Yeah.
In present
So you're
time.
saying that interview did not happen?
No, not that one. Mm-mm. But I do acknowledge the fact that he did identify with his Indian bloodline. Definitely, that was part of his thing. He knew that.
Yeah, Chuck
Hey,
Berry did the same thing.
Huh?
I said Chuck Berry did the same thing.
Yeah. Bo Diddley, I
hey,
believe, too.
mhm. You know, not that we hadn't already mentioned it on this show, but growing up, how somebody will say, "Oh, I'm mixed with Indian. I got Indian in my blood." So we was like, "Oh man, get out of here! You just don't want to be all black." But nobody ever said anything about having African in their blood.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard any of the kids when I was growing up say that they got African in them. It was always Indian.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is my generation. The only thing we saw was Indians represented on television, like the Rifleman or Bonanza or So there would be a natural energy not to necessarily associate yourself with that, right?
Mm.
So I mean that's part of it. This deep understanding of what an Indian is. You feel me? In the black community, that needs to be corrected.
So let me help you out with that, Planet. In the transatlantic slave trade, 12.5 million people were transported. In the transatlantic slave trade, as we know it, 400 years, 12.5 million Africans were snatched, trafficked, stolen, sold out of West Africa. Out of that 12.5 million, 4 to 6%, which is under 400,000, came to North America. I'm going to say it again. Out of 12.5 million, 4 to 6% came to North America. The majority of the 12.5 million Africans transported went to South America, i.e. Brazil. There are 44 million black people today in the U.S. There are 110 million blacks today in Brazil. We went from 400,000 in North America that were transported, but we got 44 million today out of 400,000.
Yeah, but still.
Down in Brazil, let me just finish this. In Brazil, they got 110 million black people. And I told you the majority of those traffic, of that 12.5 million, went to Brazil. We still got 44 million here.
It's impossible.
The math ain't mathing.
Well, I mean, that's because the whole entire story, you know, from cover to cover, is a lie. There was no that. Yeah,
mathematically impossible.
Yeah, there was no transatlantic slave trade. You know, where you had niggas standing on the shores of West Africa over the course of 350 years, just waiting to be enslaved. You know, that's a bunch of BS, and they know it. And so, you know, that's also a strategy to make those brothers and sisters down there in Brazil, as well as, you know, other parts of South America, to think that they came over there on slave ships, like they want us to think that same garbage. The slave trade never happened, and if there were 12.5 million anything that came to this country, it was European immigrants. You know, some that were indentured servants, you know, et cetera, but it wasn't no 12 million Africans came over here on in the course of 350 years. Come on, man, 350 years. You know, 12.5 million people, man. Come on, in 350 years. Come on, man. That's 3.5 centuries, man. Right. Of them just taking people from one continent and transporting them to the other. That has to be the greatest lie that was ever told.
Well, you know, one of the deepest things to accept is the intensity of the lie that the elite, because, you know, we must be reminded that the elite was governing the education. So they were telling the stories, right? The common homie just tried to take advantage of the story as it related to whatever their situation was. But the whole thing was a lie. So you have to look at the motive of lying to the people. And I would suggest that the core root was they wanted this land for themselves. And they just built the story up so they could galvanize the uneducated, because there was no, where the hell would they get the education from? Right? So these institutions created this myth, sold it to the people, so that they would get, you know, their military or warriors or whatever to do their bidding. Right? And now that's the situation that we have today. But once one can truly accept that they've been lied to from day one, but that it's hard. It's hard to really, really accept that, you know, because you go to school and this, that, and the other, whatever. But it's all a lie.
Yeah, because things ain't what it seemed to be, you know.
At all.
We fed that story from the beginning, but then we told the story inside our house. Like my grandfather said his mother was Indian. Then my mother said her father was Indian. So, you know, we got the stories there, but, you know, it's just like we got to find actual documentation, because like you, everybody know, it was identity hijacking for us. You know, a lot of us was changed from Native to Black, especially. I got documents with some of our family member. One guy named Robert Thomas, 1870 census, he's down as Indian. 1880 census, he's down as Black. You get what I mean? And
Yeah.
in 1920, my great grandfather recorded twice. One census he's mulatto, next census
Right.
he's
Yeah.
same
Same
household.
with mine. Same with mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'll see that in records. So it's a lot to uncover. So we got a comment. Go ahead, Horace.
Well, no, I just want to give an example that I think would be an excellent example, for the people to understand. Just imagine if you had a magic box,
Mm-hmm.
and inside this magic box, you can do things that can't nobody else do, but only you literally have the power to bring those particular powers to reality better than anybody else can do it. So now, if a person comes and tell you, "Hey, man, this is not your magic box. Your box is one of those other boxes that's over there on the corner." They're trying to keep you away from that particular magic box for a reason, because they know that once you tap into that magical box, that there's nothing that you can't do. And I think that since they fictionalized all of our magical powers into these what have yous, these fairy tale, blah blah blah, then we don't take our magical powers literally, and we think it's a joke.
Correct.
But we literally have some hell of a magical powers, and we're connected to this land that also has these magical powers. And once we connect with it, man, we can literally. That's why I think that the Million Matriarch March is so important, because if we can get all the sisters together and chant the right tunes, the right frequencies, vibrate the right dances, man, we can literally switch this thing up. It's no different than how Donnie was just saying. We can collapse the system just with our buying power. Well, we can collapse this entire buffoonery that's going on with our magical powers if we only know that this is our box, aka our land.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got some interesting comments going on in the comments. We got from Tim Walker Jr. say, like all of the lands, they wanted this one for mainly or only them. They want enough of them indigenous people and to serve them. That's the end goal of the Caucasian. So we got a lot of comments going on. Then we got one guy, he said, George Adams said, none of this is relevant nor matters. I don't know where he's coming from with that. What y'all feel about that? He said none of this is relevant nor matters.
Well, maybe he should suggest what is relevant.
Right. Then we got from Alex Adams. He said, I believe we're standing on ancient Egypt, and it adds up once you put the pieces together.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's most definitely the case right there. We the only people on the planet that was heavy into the Kemetic sciences, and we way over here. That's right. Because it was a full circle manifestation of us getting back to our original roots. We the original Kemites, we the original Atlanteans, we the original Tamarians. We the original everything right here, man. And the beauty of it is that some of us, the ancestors and the universe, and our elders, spiritual guys, man, they wanted us to realize this ahead of the pack, man. So I could never stress how blessed I feel to be in a position to understand this, as opposed to the majority of our people who are still thinking, that is something else other than, what we are talking about.
Okay. Horace, could you elaborate on telling our viewers the importance of knowing these mounds and knowing these sacred places that you've traveled across the country finding and sharing with us?
Well, yeah. Well, our ancestors, a lot of our ancestors are buried in these mounds, under these mounds, man. And if they haven't went in and excavated, the tombs that were there, because there were a lot of hieroglyphics under these mounds. A lot of these mounds are built, and pyramids are built on high electrical and energetic sensors. High spiritual centers where our ancestors, like me and Planet Wells, you know, touch upon sometime, you know, the teachings of Carlos Castaneda, when some of the ancient seers had the ability to defy death. So they were only gone physically, but they were still circulating on the spiritual level. Well, our ancestors do the same thing, and they're there, you know, as well as in a lot of other places. But due to the fact that we're not in commune with them, and these other, I don't even know what to call these people, the limited ones, you know, they got their different rituals, and they called on our feeble ancestors, and then they get them to move through the land how they want them to. But yeah, man, I watched it, man. Where was I at, man, the other day? Well, oh yeah, right out in South Carolina, right north of Augusta, Georgia. Man, they got a 3 big gigantic pyramids right there, you know, attached to each other, and they're building homes on top of them.
Well,
Or look
you
at
know,
that.
that
Go
area,
ahead, bro.
that area right there is personal to me. That Augusta area right there, is a church there called Springfield Baptist Church, and that's one of the oldest African American churches here, and it was made from Creek Muskogee land there. So that's a personal, that Augusta, Georgia is real personal to me. So you said you found pyramids there?
Yeah, I mean, well, you know, they everywhere, brother. They unavoidable, man. A lot of these hills that we go up and down, we think that these are just, you know, hills, man. No, them be actual mounds and pyramids. They then built entire civilizations over, you know. And like I was, you know, telling Donnie initially, you know, all this noise and this traffic and these people going to and fro, you know, this is a disturbance on the part of the peace that our ancestors, you know, would find if it was a quiet place like a cemetery. So they do a lot of these things, the majority of these things, you know, purposely, like, you know, putting landfills on top of the main pyramids. That's to block us from and our ancestors from connecting, you know, with the universe and each other, man. So everything is strategic, like a chess game. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say, man. You know, I don't have really much more else to say about it, man, that I could, you know, really think of at this moment. But yeah, that's it.
Okay. So how you feel about the situation, Planet?
Well, I think that there was a specific type of ruling class that came over here and specifically wanted to destroy every connection that we had to anything, right? Because, okay, let's look at it from the point of these homies come off this boat, come here and see all these miraculous things, right? The average homie that was just on the boat, he don't know nothing about none of that. But this elite class does, right? So in other words, when you look at the Masons or whatever, obviously that was a preoccupation with Kemet, right?
Okay.
So if they came over here with that and then saw a similar thing here, right? Their specific intention was to do this. And that's the part, you know, everybody wasn't down with it. They were just following the leader. Okay.
So we got a picture here of the Sedona Mountains. This is in Arizona. And Robert says that they have faces there, carved in the stone.
Hey, you know, hey, Planet Wells. Yeah. You know, I find that a lot of these mounds and pyramids, they have these whatever type of companies that they have that's going down inside them. So we still have that elite class circulating amongst us today because they're still going in these mounds and pyramids, and they know exactly what they are.
Correct. Correct. Someone put that it started here, and it started here for us. For them, it started when they went to Egypt.
Sure.
And then when they came over here, I'm sure they had such a shock to see a similar aesthetic and a similar spirituality. And they said, no, we tried to eliminate any remnants of this in Egypt, but now we got to do it here. And that's what they did.
Wow.
Manifest destiny. That's where white people who came here felt they had
not
the
just
duty
white people.
They had duty. White people who had they felt it was their duty to civilize us. That's the bullshit. Because that sounds like a crock of crap made up after the fact. They were lost.
Well, very.
How you gonna take God to somebody? What do you know about God? I mean, they paint. You know, Hollywood has done a number on us and on them because they actually think they went and civilized somebody. I mean, you look at what was done in Australia. We think we had it rough. The people in Australia did not have a cakewalk dealing with the European at all, the British in particular. And you talk about drugs and fentanyl a day. How did the British get Hong Kong? How did the British get control of Hong Kong?
Opium.
For 150 years, it was through opium. So do you think they give 0 F's about us ODing on fentanyl? They hope we all die on fentanyl. That's what we don't get about the drug war. It's a world war, this thing with drugs. The fentanyl, most of it is made in China. So big ups to all of the drug dealers that sell dope, coke, and crack to your people. I hope you're proud of yourself.
Wow.
They go for Walgreens, Rite Aid, and Walmart too.
And the pharmaceutical companies, all the pharmaceuticals. Don't forget them.
Yeah.
Kaiser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it wasn't a problem until we started. Remember, a few years back, we started seeing people OD in the cars in Virginia. Remember that? Wow, about 4 or 5 years ago, there was a lot of people ODing with their babies in the car.
We got to watch the media. We got to watch the media. They got us afraid of stuff that we don't even know. Cat Williams was joking. He said mesothelioma. Does your head hurt? Are you dizzy when you climb the steps? And then the side effects are worse than the damn thing, whatever you got.
Well, the media is very, very powerful. TV, television, and movies, right? So when you go back in time and you see that when they were premiering one of the early films, period, there was a shot of a train and it was running, the tracks were running from the screen, whatever. And the people ran out of the movie theater. So people back in the day thought what they saw on the screen was reality. And the elites use that, right? Because just like today, what a blockbuster movie is, what, $300-400 million. Who got that kind of money? Only a select group of people got that kind of money. And I posit that those are the same elite homies that created the ships, funded the ships to come over here and do the colonization. So it's always been this upper rich class that is doing this trick.
The Netflix documentary came out that 50 did, and I saw a piece, and I didn't do a lot of research, so I am guilty. But it said that Oprah was critical of 50's documentary. And I'm like, of all people, you? You criticizing somebody? I remember she and, what was it, Gail, how they went after R. Kelly. They lynched him in public.
I remember. Did that show.
So how can you then criticize somebody else for doing what you did? That's a bit narcissistic.
Yeah, it's like the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
But you know, but piggybacking off of what Wells had said a little while ago, not only the white ones, well, we still have to realize that those pale ones that came over here, they weren't nothing but a bunch of drunken bums.
Correct.
You know, they didn't have any type of know-how to do anything except for hop on a ship and be led. They could have been led into a brimstone. They wouldn't have known until they arrived at the shores or where they got burned up at.
Correct.
What they call it, Shanghaiing, when they was like, it was like vagrants over there, and they just arrested them and put them in indentureship over there.
Yeah. They was a bunch of bums.
Right.
They were a bunch of alcoholic bums, panhandlers, swindlers, shysters. That's all they were, you know. And so now all of a sudden they're these high and mighty. You know, that's why I blame the government for that, and the government not being that piece of paper, but those black elite Americans that came over here for being the masterminds. That's why I urge everybody to watch that show. I mean, to watch the movie, The Gladiator, the second one with Denzel Washington. You know, when you watch that movie and study Denzel's character, you will see exactly who this black elite class was. Well, they came over here from Spain.
Yeah, that's deep. A lot of people can't vision that, you know, the enemy within. But that's what we've been talking about. That
we see them every day. They on social media. Our politicians, a lot of them. I ain't gonna say all of them, but a lot of them. Here they go, Planet. This is our politicians. Everything's a damn selfie. Do the work. Do the work.
Wow. So
don't take pictures of homeless people if you're feeding them. Stop that. Right. Stop that silly stuff.
Right. Have you guys heard about the Lumbee tribe getting federally recognized? Supposed to be the 57th tribe get their recognition. So the
of course, they ain't nothing but a bunch of moon people or partial Puerto Ricans. They not the real deal, Holyfield.
You saying they fake?
You know, fake as a $8 bill.
And so they talking about Oprah and Harvey Weinstein. Them people all know each other, right? They was all in the same party.
Yeah, he was on the show one time, wasn't he?
And so really the message to our young people is, do you really want to be famous? And if you want to be famous, how far will you go? Because these people are devils. Do you really want to be a part of that? I'm just saying.
Hey Donnie, you know who I feel? You know who I feel sorry for or wonder what's up with them? Eve.
The rapper?
Yeah. You know, she married that multi-million $1 white dude from somewhere overseas, man. And oh man, she sold her soul for the riches, man. I saw a picture. I saw a picture of her on a family portrait with like him, and it had to be about 10 of his family members. She was the only melanated one out of the crowd, but that shit almost looked like what's that vampire movie?
Oh, I thought you was gonna say Get Out.
Well, no. What's that vampire movie where Blue Moon? You know what I'm talking about, man. Where the werewolf was into it with the vampires, and the girl was in love with the vampire dude.
Twilight or something.
Twilight. Yeah, that's what it looked like with Eve on that picture, man. It looked like Twilight. Yeah.
Is she happy? I mean, if a person's happy, you know, I'm not gonna knock somebody for loving somebody of another race. That's your thing. Do your thing.
But I don't know if it was about love. I think it was a financial.
Oh, it wasn't about love.
Yeah, man. You can look at her and tell that you know, you can look at her face, man. You can tell her energy, how she moves, and you know how she poses in her pictures, man. That shit is all fake, man.
Well, she look like Melania Trump.
Oh, Milan, that part I don't know.
I'm saying Melania Trump
You know?
don't look like she really want to be there.
Oh,
Melania Trump look like a
see, I don't know
hostage.
yeah, I don't know nothing about that part.
The president's wife, she be on TV all the time with him. When he,
Yeah.
well, historically, she always grabbing her hand or Wade, turning her face when he go to kiss her. She act like she don't want to be there. She act like she don't like him. I don't know what you see.
Well, she probably don't like him, but my thing is, if you don't like him, why are you around him? Because she probably needs him because he got money. You know,
or some type of contract with the devil.
Yeah, he got that bag.
If they're
so she
afraid
want to stick around and play that role.
Here's a comment. Most of our politicians are afraid of the possibility of death to do the right thing, which is why they don't have our best interest. Then they should get out. If you're not going to serve the people, get out. Especially here in my home state. If you're not going to be about the people, just go home. Because if you're there to do a job, we're going to hold you accountable to do your job.
Yeah, but what good can you do in an establishment that the foundation is evil?
I don't know, but if you're gonna get in there, you should damn sure try it. If you find out you can't, then leave and let somebody else try. But here's a fact: we'll get in there and sell our soul and stay there 30 years because we think we got some power.
And that paychecks be coming looking good, man. Paychecks be looking real good.
They say Donald Trump has got this thing against immigrants when he's a descendant of immigrants and he married 2 immigrants. And they say the 2 immigrants that married him are proof that immigrants come to America are willing to do the work that not even Americans are willing to do.
What Americans are they talking about?
Nobody would marry Donald Trump but an immigrant.
Judy's songs for The Worst is the Tasmania was wiped out.
I'm sorry. Were you reading
and it's in the comments there. See Tasmania?
Yeah, the Tasmanian, yeah.
Right.
Wipe
now
them out.
they had the last Tasmanian on exhibit in England. The corpse. So those homies have a different mindset. See? They got a different mindset.
Yeah, see, if you kill one man, they'll call you a murderer. But if you kill 100,000 people, they'll call you a conqueror.
There you go.
Wow. It's something about that. That's
he say calling them masterminds, you giving them power. Don't give them no power. They ain't a mastermind. That's a diabolical mind. That's a demonic mind. Somebody feeds you and you give them blankets with smallpox. You rape their women. And that's manifest destiny, right? I was having a discussion with a theologian about the Bible. And I said, if your Bible say slaves be loyal to your masters, then don't read it to me because I ain't a Christian no more. You try to enslave me, I'm going to take your head off.
Well, the big thing is that the perception that someone from another country came over here a long time to bring you Jesus. You really need to think about that. Because what that is subtly or not so subtly trying to say, that you didn't have a connection to the Spirit and God before they came here. That you were just here. Your mind didn't go there. They had to bring
no concept of God.
There you go. They had to bring it for you to save you, homie. Now you need to really think
You
about
talking about
that. If you love yourself,
you talking about the friar
you need to
dude?
think about that.
You talking about the friar dude with the funky haircut with the bald spot in the middle?
All that and all that.
Hey, I asked the brother, what were we doing before the colonizers bought that over here, and he said witchcraft.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
you want to believe your people were that ignorant, then you go right ahead.
That's how it got labeled. No, that's true. That's why they tricked the commoner into thinking all that bullshit. But you know, you got to understand, they was burning people at the stake, yo, before they came over here.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on now.
So
they were burning women at the stake.
As much as Christians talk about Muslims being violent, being terrorists, we forget that the Christians were the other part of the Holy Crusades, that they were guffing right there with them.
Well, the Ku Klux Klan is a Christian organization.
No, they ain't Christian.
They put it out there that way, bro.
They are not Christian.
They're Christian. They Christian.
No, they Christian.
They put it out there, bro.
They are not Christian.
They Christian.
I think what I think it is, Donnie. I think Donnie's conception of what Christianity is what makes him formulate that particular answer.
Damn right. They are not Christian. If they Christian, then I'm the Pope.
Well, yeah.
Hey, Pope Glover.
The first thing I'm gonna do, the first thing I'm gonna do is the Pope gonna have a wife.
Right.
Oh, no, you know that's against the grain. There, you gotta have a little boyfriend.
No. We changing all that. We taking it back to 325 Nicene Council. We're gonna get this thing correct. See, that's just like Baltimore City school system. Some things you just gotta break it all the way down and start over.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna take, though, right there, Donnie.
Because when I look at these Hollywood pictures and I see white people playing Jesus, I get real confused. I got to turn the channel because right now, you know, all these Jesus stories coming on. And I'm like, Jesus ain't look like that. His hair ain't look like that. He was darker than that. You can't live over there and look like that.
Hey, but Donnie, I got a question for you.
And Santa Claus was a black man. I done told y'all. Don't start no stuff.
The information as well as the truth that's contained in the text over at least the past 5 years have come out that Jesus was black, right? How in the hell do they keep on making white Jesuses, though? I mean, they know
that they keep on making white Santa Clauses. Santa Claus was black. I keep telling them.
I'm saying, though, did these people not get the memo, or they just said the hell with the memo?
So I want to know. I'm gonna ask y'all right here. Do y'all celebrate Christmas?
No, I don't.
Now? No.
Yeah.
Not now. Of course.
So if I come to y'all crib, I ain't gonna see no little tree up.
Negative,
no,
Ghost Rider.
Not here, no.
But
I can tell you this. I can tell you this. What I did love to do in Mount Vernon, New York, is 2 days after Christmas, right? I used to go get the Christmas trees that were in the street because I loved the way they burned in the fireplace. They crackle and they burn real well. I used to do that.
All right. I'm gonna hit y'all below the belt. Before y'all were conscious, did you have a favorite toy?
Yeah.
Toy? Yeah.
Yeah, man, like the G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip or the big wheel. Did you have a big wheel?
No, I had a Mighty Matilda.
Wow.
I had a Robot Commando.
I had Transformers when they first came out, like Optimus Prime and Shockwave and stuff like that, and Megatron when he was a gun. Remember, he was a gun first, and they changed him to something else because they thought, people was pointing, so I think kids was getting shot because they was pointing the Transformer gun at people. So That's
All
what I
right, here's
read.
another question. Pop quiz for the indigenous panel. Do you play Christmas music?
No.
Well, I do like that one song.
And I
Hang on the mistletoe. I'm going to get to know you better. That's my cut.
This Christmas whispers. You know what I mean?
you know,
Yeah, that's my
I
jam.
didn't even,
That's my jam, there, man.
even in my mother's house, I didn't like Christmas. I didn't go for that shit. I just didn't. I'm just telling you straight up. I didn't go for
So
that.
Hey, what did it say? Shake a hand now. Yeah, that's my jam, there, man. Yeah, that's a cut there.
So is Curtis Blow Christmas rap? Is that in there? Can you play that?
Come on, man. I don't.
Nah.
You can
And
direct
I'm not gonna even play that other one. I had to catch that on the humbug somewhere playing.
You could direct that, Dottie, to the other panel members because I don't play that. None of that.
If y'all heard y'all heard the Jackson 5 Christmas song, come on, y'all ain't going.
I ain't down with none of it, bro.
Nah, man.
Not even
back then, you know, I was listening to Freddie Hubbard, man. I was listening to that bullshit. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer.
No, G.
Had a very sunny nose.
You had too much eggnog, yo. I ain't with it.
Come on, man. I know you didn't listen to that Johnny Mathis.
Nah, G.
Nuts roasting on an open fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, everybody done heard that, man. But
we heard it.
I done heard all of them, you know.
But you know, one good thing though, Johnny and kind of
eyes on the globe.
Our people always gather on holidays. It don't be for the meaning of what the holiday is. We love to just gather and do one another.
Exactly.
So we gonna get together. You know, I'm gonna see my kids, my grandkids, and my cousins and friends and girlfriend, her family. I'm gonna see all them people this holiday, and I'm enjoying them. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what everybody needs to do. Don't get so caught up where you're gonna exclude yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Have your principalities, but don't exclude yourself from your family. You know,
absolutely.
And don't cut nobody. Try to give grace.
Yeah.
Try to give grace.
And then bring your own bags and Tupperware and stuff when you come for the plates and stuff. That's just a little joke. I'm just joking around.
My dad, I had older siblings go out their house and I tell my dad, I said, Daddy, I'm going over my sister's house, going over my brother's house. He said, they having a cookout. He said, what else you taking besides yourself?
Right.
Take something to the family gathering besides yourself and some aluminum foil.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Grab a cake.
And let's be honest. Some of us don't need to be drinking.
Period.
Yeah. And you know what? I seen a car the other day flipped over. They just speeding, just going. I don't know what it was. You know what it is. Where you going is gonna be there. But he was just flipped over.
And see, this is why I say that about drinking, because that's the easy thing that's everywhere. And some of us have had enough. And we acted out at the last family get together.
Right.
You know the one where you cussed out.
Yeah.
So and so. We don't want to repeat. We want to do better this year. So if it means cutting your visit short or whatever, but yeah, we should get together and we should be responsible. We shouldn't be going expecting a fight or taking bad energy anywhere because, as we all know, life is short, and in a blink of an eye, that same person you were arguing with, now you ain't got them no more. So we should try to give some grace.
There's a reason why they call it fire water.
Yeah, but not just that. Some people get caught up. They got drug addicts, drug habits, and the habit is really, you know, maybe the drug is replacing a loved one or something like that. All kinds of things. Some people don't have the money. Some people are stressing they can't see their kids. Some people are dealing with parental alienation. Some people are dealing with grandparent alienation. Some people are dealing with child support, and you ain't paid your child support, so now they don't want you to see your kid.
Mm-hmm.
All
Very
kinds
true.
of stuff, you know. So if we are really about God and the Christians we claim to be, or believers or spiritualists or whatever nom de plume we use in the day, you know, practice love.
So, that's the best thing to do is practice love. You know what I'm saying?
And they never say happy birthday, Jesus. I thought it was Jesus, supposed to be Jesus' birthday. They'll never say happy birthday, Jesus.
They ain't until April sometime, right?
Christmas is
Easter.
all
That's
about
when he
Santa.
got killed.
Yeah, Christmas is all about Santa Claus, not Jesus.
Yeah. This ain't the time
And
of year.
the church play a role in it. You know, in that movie, what was that movie came out this summer? Sinners.
Yeah.
The people in the church were dressed real regular, almost like a uniform. We get so caught up in what we wear to church. Yeah, we like to look good. But if that spirit is ugly, I don't care what you got on. I don't care how fly your shoes are. If that spirit is ugly, it hits differently.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do with an ugly
Pretty
spirit.
but ugly. Therefore, pretty ugly.
They got a phony spirit too. A lot of church people phony as hell, man. Their people
Too
be
many
super
preachers
phony.
about that. Too many preachers about that money. Yeah, the main topic might be over. Well, actually, it's not the this is altogether Campbell's soup. What do you think about that, Planet?
Let me see. Well, if we're here, we're the main topic.
Yeah. And we all going through these holidays. So I imagine too, increasingly, because I've done a couple of stories on this indigenous topic. I've plan to get a piece published in a local paper, but to talk about this series, I want more and more people to have this discussion. You know, you're seeing grandma. This might be your last time seeing grandma this holiday. Get the information. Get your family story. My daughter's picking my brain. Thanks, Hannibal, for your assist yesterday.
Well, you're welcome.
She pulling out names, and I gotta go to the expert. So use this family time to get some information from the older people.
That's a good thing.
Yes, it's a good thing if you got somebody that, because like me in particular, I don't have anybody that I can get the information from, because you know the people that I ask, they don't know shit, you know, so I have to do my own searching and then just go off of thinking about what my grandfather, my great grandmother told me when I was growing up.
Right, tell them Big Ma, babe.
Yeah, Big Ma.
So come on, Planet, let's get to that meditation, man. I ain't gonna lie, my Ravens playing tonight.
Hey, how about
you broke up, Horace.
Horace?
Probably going through a rough patch.
Yeah, I think I cut out briefly. I said, how about those Bears?
Yeah, I seen that catch. Winning in overtime. What, a 50-plus yard catch? I seen it.
Oh yeah, man. The bad. I don't know. We might be headed there this year, man.
Yeah, I think we regretted sending our coach that way down there to y'all.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Come on, Planet. We got to get the meditation going.
All right. So
if y'all new to this, we getting ready to give it over to Planet, and this is a very special time, and we need it. Thank you, Planet.
Okay. So in the indigenous tradition, sound played an important role as well as tobacco, right? Because the feeling was that when you connect your intention with the tobacco, you say your prayers and you blow the smoke out, and the smoke goes everywhere, right? So with sound, with bells, with drums, it's a focusing tool to bring about that remembrance that you are a sacred, infinite being, and we like to share that. So we do this just to bring ourselves for a moment into that stillness and set our intention and send our love and protection to all our people. Okay. So we're going to take 3 short breaths and hold it in, for 2 or 3. Okay. So here we go. So here we go. This is just a focusing tool that we got to aid us to go into stillness, which is ultimately us on a deeper spiritual level. Here's the bowl, mallet. Peace and blessings, everyone.
Cause you want to get on with the libations.
Okay, hold on, brothers. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull over.
I'm gonna take
I'm
a
gonna get my.
moment and acknowledge my son and my daughter. Thank God for them. My daughter's been helping me with the research, so me
Wonderful.
and Day and the son, I thank the heavens for them.
I'm gonna take the time to acknowledge my family as well, my sons and my daughters and new girlfriend and just everybody, my family, my cousins, and especially my cousins, you know what I'm saying, sticking beside me during this time and us organizing everything together and all the descendants of the Muskogee, you know what I'm saying? That's how I like to thank all of them and recognize them.
And thank you for the new song, man.
You're welcome, cousins. You're welcome. Thank you.
The Jones family and all of us in our tribe, whether that be virtual or literal.
Yes, sir.
Harsh, did you hear Hannibal's new song?
Is that the one that you played on there?
Yeah.
Oh, that was Hannibal's work.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Oh, check that out. Yeah, I like that, man.
Hannibal be throwing.
Man, I see, man. I thought that Donnie had hired some young buck man to do that, man.
Oh, yeah, that's the old fella right there. That's the old man.
Yeah, I can dig that, man. That's all right, man. Yeah, I like that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, these libations coming in 1 second, man. I'm
Mhm.
pull over to the side, man. Let me okay.
The Barnett family of Creek Nation, Oklahoma City, Ashe.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
Shay.
Barnett's, that Barnett family amongst the Saponis too. Same family.
Ansons, the Andersons, the McIntoshes, the Hobbs, add to all of the ancestors. Ashe.
All right. So y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I want to, before I, start this list, I want to, give honors, man, to, my great grandparents on both sides. My great grandfather Horace and my great grandmother Leanna, from Louisiana, and then my great grandfather Jasper, my great grandmother Mary from Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
All the way on both sides, man. Here we go. Here, I want to start off giving honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the great Queen Neitha of Chicago, Illinois, who defeated 5 armies of invading Europeans. The most honorable Empress Vidayasi, the most honorable Chief Redbird, the most Empress Chief Redbird, the most honorable Chief Warhorse, the honorable Kimba Vita of Congo, Dr. Francis C. Welsing, Dr. Arikana, Sister Shahrazad Ali, the late great Ashada Shakur, Angela Davis, Mama T, Sister Vicky Dilla, Sister Myra, Dr. Joy DeGrew, a sister on YouTube by the name of The Chris, Sandra Bland, Breonna Taylor, Sonia Massey, Queen Valara Renita El Harabe, the sister Sakri Balance, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm Malik El Shabazz, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Dr. Delbert Blair, the Honorable Taj Tariq Bey, and Dr. G, the Honorable Dr. Claude Anderson, the Honorable Sun Ra, the Honorable Mayor Harry Washington of Chicago, Illinois, the Honorable Michael Jackson, Patrice Lumumba, Professor P.L.O. Lumumba, C. Freeman L., Dr. Martin Luther King, Che Guevara, the Most Honorable Dr. Malachi Z. York, the Honorable Omali Yesatila, my right-hand man, Julius Malema of South Africa, my other right-hand man, President Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso, my other right-hand man, General Barbecue of Haiti, the Honorable beloved brother Bobby Hemmett, the Honorable Dr. Reverend Phil Valentine, Nellie Fuller, Fred Hampton, the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, Clarence 13X, a.k.a. Puddin, Anthony T. Browder, the Most Honorable Professor James Small, Dr. Booker T. Coleman, Rod Hayes, Young Elder, Steve Coakley, Billy Carson, 19 Keys, Dan Calloway, Karimio Ahua, Rizza Islam, the legendary Top Cats. I'd like to give a special shout out to my man over at Taylor House Publishing, Young Elder, Dr. Sebi, Layla Ha'o Africa, Yaki Awakening, the Honorable King Randall, the Most Honorable Donnie Glover for providing us with this platform for us to reach our people, the Most Honorable Planet Wells for his spiritual guidance during these troublesome times, the Most Honorable and beloved brother Hannibal James for his supreme wisdom in genetics and so forth and so on, the young, wise, and intelligent brother Mafia Shakur, and all of our viewers who are 100% down with us in this monumental and indigenous movement here on Turtle Island without any questions asked. Ashe.
Ashe. Morris the Fourth.
Appreciate that, my brothers. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Natasha G.
Very good. Very good.
Positive show, man. A lot of positive comments.
Yes, sir.
Hey, what happened to my sister from Oklahoma, DJ Sweetness?
Oh, she been talking to you in the chat. You driving, so you can't see it. But she essentially said you need to holler at her. So DJ Sweetness, he did just say hello. I'm feeling like a little middleman. Okay, here's her response: peace, love, and abundance in all caps.
For sure.
In all caps. It ain't say like peace, love, and abundance. It said peace, love, and abundance.
In all caps. Oh yeah, you can't beat that. I guess that particular statement got its own straw man.
Hey.
Hey.
I don't know why y'all just don't go ahead and
She
meet
said
up for the
safe
hour.
travel and protections, vibrations to Horus.
Absolutely.
Gratitude, gratitude,
What about the rest
sister.
of us? Damn planet. Guess we on our own, cuz.
It's a solo thing. It's all good. It's all good.
Nothing but love, nothing but love. And thank you everybody for sharing this time with us. Thank you. We have become family, huh?
Absolutely.
Is my home girl from Chicago in the chat? Big
Ma
mama.
baby. Big
Yeah,
Ma
Big Ma
baby.
baby.
Yeah.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah, that's Longwood's finest right there.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this show is nothing without them sisters, man. Say what you want. The brothers
absolutely.
but the sisters let you know that you are on point. And
Sure
don't
indeed.
make sweetness come after you, because that sweetness get real lemony real fast. You don't say it correctly. She will put foot in your hind parts. Yes, she will.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
She grabbed me by the collar in the beginning a couple times. She had it. I'm like,
Well, you know, I know that you know, the majority of us on the panel are familiar with Islam, where during the kufba or during prayer, if a mistake is made, the sisters will clap their hands to correct the person who made the mistake.
And also shout out to Minister Malone and that whole family.
Yogi.
As well.
Yeah, people were hitting me up for Yogi's number.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other brother that do this, the health part he had a lot of good information too. The brother with the glasses.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Very good.
Well, I'll be back Tuesday with you gentlemen, 8 o'clock. Meanwhile, I say good evening to you. Go Ravens.
Wadu.
Peace.
Hey, now.